country uses stuffed vegetables like this. So you can see this is a summer dish. And this is something that I've noticed that Armenian women do a lot. And it's that lemony flavor that just is terrific. Ever since I started writing about food, I have been enamored of Armenian cooking. It all started in the early 70s when I lived in Jerusalem and worked for the mayor of Jerusalem. In the old city of Jerusalem, there are 4 quarters, one of which is the Armenian quarter. And the Armenians have always had a connection to Jerusalem. I think the first ones came in about the 4th century AD, and they settled the area. And I used to go and visit the Armenians with the mayor of Jerusalem. And I tasted all kinds of delicious foods that I'd never had before, like lahmacun, which were flat pizzas, but with meat and spices on top. And of course, one of the dishes they always would give to us, and it's a dish of welcoming, are the stuffed grape leaves. So when I was thinking of summer entertaining, I thought, let's do stuffed grape leaves. And today, most of us use the bottled grape leaves that we soak in water to remove some of the salt, and then we use them dull side up. But more and more, I find at restaurants, and I myself like to do it with my grapes in my garden, we take regular grape leaves when they're not, you want the grape leaf when it's just growing, maybe a little bit bigger than this. Here's the grape. These are the clusters of grapes that in the fall will be beautiful, and these are going to be green grapes. And when I use them, what I usually do is I boil them for a minute or two just to blanch them, and then I put them in ice cold water to retain the color. You can also use Swiss chard, and some of the most delicious stuffed grape leaves that I've had have been used with Swiss chard. Add the olive oil, 3 onions. Okay, so we're going to cover this and put the heat down. You can see they're turning brown, so you can do it this way because as long as they're soft, but brown is good too. So I'm going to turn this off, and I'm going to add pine nuts, which are always delicious. Then I'm going to add the rice. Also, you want to brown that a little bit. Salt and pepper. Allspice. Then this is cardamom. This is dill weed. Very often dry dill has a more potent flavor than fresh dill, but I've used both today. Currants, which I love. Sugar, again, in the Middle East, you add sugar to a lot of things as a spice. Tomatoes, definitely New World, an addition, later addition, but it's a nice addition. Dill, fresh dill, and fresh parsley. So you can see this is a summer dish. You mix all these things together. You add a little water. We're going to put the cover on. We're going to cook it for about 15 minutes, and then we're going to stuff the grape leaves. Okay, we're going to take the top off, and look at that. Oh, it's really quite beautiful. Make some holes in the lemon. Use my hand as a sieve and pour lemon juice over. This is really one of the key ingredients in any good stuffed grape leaves. Okay, you take a grape leaf and you put it dull side up and shiny side on the bottom. And you take about a tablespoon of filling on the bottom, and then you roll them like an envelope. something that I've noticed that Armenian women do a lot. They do it together. They'll have a party where they're all stuffing grape leaves, or the way I do, I have a gefilte fish in where we all make gefilte fish together, but they stuff grape leaves. I would do them fresh if you just pick them the way I did from the garden. Otherwise, I would blanch them, put them in ice cold water, and freeze them. Some people freeze them, layer them in salt, but it seems to me if you freeze them, all you have to do is put them in, blanch them. No, because they're all good. The flavor is pretty much the same, but the fresh definitely tastes fresher. Okay, so what I'm going to do is now take a Swiss chard, one of my favorite vegetables, especially sautéed for breakfast. Again, taking this side down, and then I put a little bit in here. You want it to be sort of squat. And this, think about it, this is probably one of the oldest ways of cooking. This is the final step. We take the grape leaves that have all been stuffed, and then we put water in the pot. See how beautiful that looks? So now that we have our grape leaves stuffed, you can see them here. These are the ones that most of you will get that are bottled. And these are stuffed with Swiss chard, and these are stuffed with real grape leaves. And we'll see what happens. The first thing we have to do is weigh them down, because we don't want them to fall apart. So we put a plate in, and then we cover them. So we take the plate off and squeeze some lemon on. Don't forget to use your hand, which I almost forgot. And it's that lemony flavor that just is terrific in these. Delicious. It has all the flavors of Armenia in there. It's got the allspice, the cinnamon, the dill. It's the flavor of the Middle East, and it's wonderful. And you have the feeling that all these flavors have melded into this one Armenian stuffed grape leaves. And what's even better is by making it with Swiss chard or fresh grape leaves, you're going back to the way that they used to make them. And it was something that was eaten in the summer and a special treat, and that's what it is today.